Now, this is by far one of the craziest stories I've seen, and it's another example of why President Trump's agenda of getting illegal immigrants out of this country is extremely vital. Because as you see right here on the screen, Iowa criminal illegal alien school superintendent was also on the Maryland's voter rolls and actually voted in the 2024 election. Let's get into this because you may or may not be familiar with this story, but an individual was hired as the superintendent of Iowa schools, earning upwards of $300,000 a year without a degree, is not even a citizen. Matter of fact, I'm going to go deeper than that and show you what else came with this man. And they put him up there. And when you hear Iowa, you would think like, yo, Iowa's probably a place that's not super woke and probably, got regular people there. There is small sections of Iowa where the woke, liberal, radicalized extremists, they focus. Do you not remember? She's a writer, was a pretty big writer. She decided, and she was like a political poster. She put out a poll showing that Kamala Harris was winning by 10 points in Iowa. Come to find out that not only was that poll false, she went out of her way to flagrantly portray Kamala Harris doing better than what she was. It was so bad that when she was called out, the lady actually resigned after like 20, 30 years working with that organization. Why? Because these radicalized left-wing extremists are doing everything they can to build an internal voter base because they know black people, Hispanics, whites, we see through them. And nobody trusts the mainstream media anymore. And that was their outlet. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Imagine what a video is worth, how many words that is. And the mainstream media has been the mouthpiece for Democrat Party radicalism. And now they're trying to pull back from it, with the exception of MSDNC. They just don't even try to hide it anymore, that they're a 100% allegedly propaganda wing of the Democrat Party. They are the media spokespeople for the Democrat Party. So let's get into this story about Mr. Illegal Immigrant School Superintendent. Now, this is the man right here. His name is Ian Roberts, superintendent that was just arrested by ICE in Iowa. Been working in the district since 2023. Salary nearly $300,000 a year. That's him. Now, here's the picture of what he looked like when his morning didn't go so well. Somehow an illegal immigrant was able to become superintendent of one of the largest school districts in Iowa. And when he was arrested by ICE, allegedly, he had a gun on him. That's Ian Roberts, okay? The superintendent in Iowa, who's a criminal, who's an illegal immigrant, and also is a criminal. He has a criminal history. So let's check this out. All right, so we got, just so you see it's him, Ian Andre Roberts was arrested by ICE for being in the U.S. illegally and in possession of a loaded handgun as the school superintendent, where they went to go get him at, had a handgun, allegedly, loaded handgun in late September 2025. Roberts also had an existing weapons possession charge from February 2020 and a guilty plea to a weapon charge in Pennsylvania in 2022. So this man has two weapons charges, one that he pled guilty to in 2020, another one in 2022, but yet he was hired to be the superintendent of Iowa, one of the largest districts in Iowa. And here's a real kicker. The man went to school from 2002 to 2007 for his degree. Well, they reached out to the college and they say that there is no record of him ever completing or receiving a degree. And word has it that the Iowa school district allegedly knew that he didn't have a degree before they hired him. So you got to ask yourself, what exactly were they going after to put somebody who's an illegal immigrant, also a criminal, a felon, in charge of 30,000 children in a school district? It seems kind of similar to J.B. Pritzker's mentor program there in Illinois and in Chicago, where one of the mentors that they had working with the children was involved in a crash and grab and a car accident that took the life of somebody when they were fleeing police. So he had 4 warrants in different states. So he had warrants in 4 states, was also arrested for taking the life of an individual when they hit him after they just got through doing a crash and grab at department stores downtown. And that's who was a member of the mentor program in Chicago. This is like that. So Roberts was arrested on Friday, September 26, 2025 by ICE. Now check this part out. Roberts was in the United States illegally with a final order of removal issued by an immigration judge in May of 2024. So when the Democrats started saying this, oh, it's just racist. No, he had his day in court and the judge ordered him to go because he was here on a student visa that expired. Prior weapons charge. He had existing weapons possession charges for February 4th, 2020, stemming from arrest by Port Arthur police. Pennsylvania charge. Public records show Roberts pleaded guilty to a weapons charge in 2022. So what are we doing here? We have a real illegal immigrant with deportation orders and felony gun possession that is in charge of a school district, and you got the Democrats fighting as if, oh my God, he just has a right to be here. Check out this news report from Alex Fulton there in the area.
We're learning new details about Des Moines Public School Superintendent Dr. Ian Roberts. He was detained by ICE agents last Friday, September 26th. According to ICE officials, an immigration judge issued an order of removal for May of 2024. According to ICE officials, Dr. Roberts came to the U.S. on a student visa in 1999. Now, today I dug through Iowa courts and public records and found that Dr. Roberts had received 2 speeding tickets, one in 2023 and another in 2024. Both of these came after Dr. Roberts started as DMPS superintendent. Now, Iowa law states that you must apply for an Iowa driver's license within 30 days of moving to the state. Now, interestingly enough, both of these speeding tickets listed different Maryland addresses for Dr. Roberts. Of course, I also used his name to look him up on the Maryland Board of Elections website and found that in 2017, he was registered to vote. Of course, only people who are U.S. citizens are allowed to vote in U.S. elections. This is a story we will continue to follow and try to provide answers as we work to gather more information.
If you're enjoying this video, do me a solid, hit that thumbs up, because I will never ask you for a cash out or a super chat. You hitting that like button, it helps get the information out there, and I appreciate it. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And if you're already subscribed or subscribing now, make sure that you hit the notifications and select all. YouTube is struggling with getting notifications out, but if you select all, YouTube will make sure you get notified when I upload new videos. Can you imagine how many other people are in positions of power and authority like him that are also voting in U.S. elections when they know they're not supposed to? Now listen to this young man, and this is the same gentleman. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Amanda Seals, but this super radical black woman named Amanda Seals, who is just off her rocker, she decided she was going to go 1 against 20 young conservatives. They ate her alive. See, when a Republican is doing a 1v20 or 20v1 versus Democrats, it's easy to wipe the floor with them because it's just common sense and logic. But flip that around and have a Democrat try to use logic and reasoning to explain their points of view, is just not going to work. But listen to what this young man had to say.
This is what I'm talking about. So the Democrats are big mad, right? They're big mad that ICE arrested a superintendent, which shows the corruption of the Democrats, right? This man was able to rise to the top of education, at the top. He was a fugitive. He had a gun, which is, you're not supposed to do, which, because coming into the country illegally is a crime, on top of having a weapon. And they're protesting like he was a legal person, like he was a legal citizen. He came into the country legally, did everything right, and then ICE just came and got him. Now I can see those protests for that. I can see that. But the man broke our laws, purposely evading ICE for all these years. They said a fugitive from ICE, which means he's a law-breaking criminal from ICE. And people are acting like this is what I'm talking about. So to the Democrats, this is what I'm talking about. Do you believe in legal migration into our country, or you don't? That's really what all this continues to boil down to. That school district should be sued. All those people should lose their job that got him in that position. Because how did he pass the background check? There was no background checks done on the illegal immigrant who was working in Iowa or wherever it was, Roberts, whatever his name is, black guy, who became a dang-on superintendent of a school system. How crazy is that? But that's what it is. He was not supposed to be in our country at all. Trump did not kidnap a person that was here legally. This is an illegal immigrant that came into our country, broke our laws. It's very simple, folks. If you want to come into the country, you have to do it legally.
So that sounds pretty cut and dry, just straight logic. He broke the law coming in across the country illegally, right? And then got actual charges, arrested on weapons possessions. And he's right. How did the man pass a background check? And then he's registered to vote since 2017, but he lives in Iowa but votes in Maryland? Or are we going to find out that he might have been voting in both places? But why does he have a Maryland ID, not an Iowa one? It's just crazy. Now, with all of that going on, I want you to look at how these left-wing extremists are protesting this there in Iowa. It's embarrassing.
Deportations have got to go. Hey. Oh. Deportations have got to go.
Now, I want you to pay attention, and they all look like they're children who don't pay any bills, who have been radicalized by the school system. Just look at them.
Constitution and the preamble, America is a people's country. It is a republic. All of our voices are heard, whether or not we agree with what's going on or not. We, the people, are the change for the future of the United States.
So you got the students out protesting, and here's why. I want you to check out what the school board has to say, and this is the actual school board chairwoman. Listen to the crap she says, and then I'm gonna follow it up with an insane video that she just posted to her social media after spewing this crap. Check this out.
It seems fitting to take a page out of Dr. Roberts' book and ask the community to engage in radical empathy as we work through the situation together. We do not have all the facts. There is much we do not know. However, what we do know is that Dr. Roberts has been an integral part of our school community since he joined over 2 years ago. During his time with our district, he has shown up in ways big and small.
He was arrested with a loaded handgun, a fixed blade hunting knife, $3,000 in cash.
Yeah, big help to the community school board. But you hear she's talking about for radical empathy. Now, when have the left ever had any empathy? On the heels of what happened with Charlie Kirk, they were dancing in the streets and celebrating. And now they want everybody to boo-hoo, whine, and cry over an illegal immigrant with a deportation order since 2024 who has been arrested on weapons charges twice, is illegally voting in our elections, and they want empathy. But they had no empathy for Charlie Kirk's wife, for Charlie Kirk's daughters. See, this stuff always comes back around and smacks the Democrats in the face. Just like this shutdown. They trying to sell it to everybody. All Republicans want to shut it down. When in reality, this is a Democrat shutdown. And we all know why. It's for the exact same reason why this individual is caught up what he's caught up in. Illegal immigration and overloading our system. Democrats want $1.1 trillion added to the deficit. They want $500 million to prop up left-wing publications like NPR and PBS, and then they want free health care for illegal immigrants. I just wanted to bring this to you to let you know it's no longer speculation. We know fact now. So share a comment. Tell me what you think about it. I want to thank you from the top and the bottom of my heart for you watching. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe. Most importantly, I want you to stay safe and you be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.